In a deep valley, there was a legend that the nine-tailed fox resided there. She was beautiful and dangerous, and it was said that anyone who saw her never returned. One day, a young hunter named Arwen ventured into this forbidden land. It wasn't intentional. He had been chasing a rare white deer and crossed the boundary that was carefully avoided by others. His hounds were barking wildly through the thickets, and the air was filled with a strange fragrance. His footsteps seemed out of place in the silent forest. Suddenly, the white deer stopped, as if drawn by an invisible force. Arwen gripped his longbow tightly and cautiously approached. But in the next moment, the white deer lowered its head and vanished into a cloud of smoke, replaced by a beautiful woman. She had snow-white skin, long black hair that gleamed, and most striking of all, the 9 tails swaying gently behind her. Arwen knew he had encountered the legendary 9-tailed fox. His hands trembled involuntarily, and the arrow almost slipped from his fingers. The 9-tailed fox slowly lifted her eyes and smiled at him. "Young man, why have you trespassed on my domain?" Her voice was like the sound of a bubbling spring, leaving him entranced. Arwen forced himself to remain calm. "I am Arwen, a hunter. I was chasing the white deer and accidentally wandered into your land. If I have offended you, I am willing to make amends." The 9-tailed fox's smile deepened, but there was a dangerous gleam in her eyes. "Make amends? With your life?" Heart skipped a beat, but he quickly regained his composure. "If my life can earn your forgiveness, then take it. But before that, please tell me, where has the white deer gone?" The 9-tailed fox lightly clapped her hands, and a small fox leapt from the bushes, carrying a golden bell. The 9-tailed fox said, "The white deer has already been transformed into this bell, and mortals cannot possess it. However, I am somewhat interested in you." Arwen watched her warily. "What do you want?" The 9-tailed fox did not answer. Instead, she stepped closer. He could feel her icy yet seductive aura. He took a step back but tripped over a tree root, and his longbow fell to the ground. At that moment, the 9-tailed fox suddenly turned and fixed her gaze on the distant woods. Her tail shot up, and the smile on her face vanished. "Someone is following you." Arwen looked in the direction she was pointing, but he saw nothing. However, the look in her eyes brooked no argument. "Follow me, or you will die horribly." Despite his doubts, Arwen followed her through the forest. They arrived at a hidden cave, and the 9-tailed fox flicked her tail, instantly covering the entrance with a layer of light. "Why are you saving me?" Arwen couldn't help but ask. The 9-tailed fox smiled coldly. "Saving you? Don't get the wrong idea. I just want to know who dares to meddle in my domain." He finished speaking. A deafening sound came from outside the cave. The light twisted, as if a powerful force was trying to tear apart the barrier. The 9-tailed fox's brows furrowed as she conjured a long sword from the void, its blade burning with blue flames. "Stay here, and do not come out," she said firmly. Arwen wanted to protest, but the 9-tailed fox had already disappeared in a flash of white light. All he could hear was the roar of fury from outside. Time passed slowly, and the air was thick with the smell of burning. Suddenly, the cave's barrier shattered, and a shadow rushed in. It was a man dressed in black robes, holding a dagger glowing red. His gaze was cold and ruthless. "So you are here," the man sneered, locking eyes with Arwen. Arwen stumbled backward, reaching for a stone on the ground. He asked, "Who are you? Why are you trying to kill me?" The man didn't answer. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Arwen. the dagger aimed at his throat. Just as the blade was about to strike, a blue flame descended from the sky, forcing the man back several steps. The nine-tailed fox had returned, her body covered in injuries, but her eyes still sharp. She stood in front of Arwen, her voice cold as she said, "He is my prey, and it's none of your business." The man snorted. "A mere fox demon dares to stop me?" The nine-tailed fox didn't respond. She made her sword burn even brighter with blue flames, and battle erupted once more, filled with the mingling of fire and black mist, and Arwen could only hide in a corner, helplessly watching. In the end, the nine-tailed fox used her wisdom and strength to repel the man, but she was so weak she could barely stand. Arwen rushed forward and supported her, concern written on his face. "Are you okay?" The nine-tailed fox smiled faintly. "Now you know, your life is mine, but the debt you owe me has not been repaid." Arwen looked at her exhausted yet determined expression, and a complex emotion stirred within him. He helped her out of the cave, and the morning light poured down, dispelling the darkness of the night. "Perhaps you're not as bad as the legends say," Arwen murmured. The nine-tailed fox didn't answer, merely smiling gently, her 9 tails swaying in the sunlight, as if telling a secret that no one would ever know. From then on, Arwen always had a mysterious white fox by his side, and sometimes, in the fox's eyes, a sly smile that resembled the 9-tailed fox's would flash.